So anime is pretty popular nowadays. I think I saw Ninja tweeting about Demon Slayer one time. Also, I saw Elon Musk wearing a Full Metal Alchemist shirt once, and he wants to make Catgirls a reality, so I support the man in anything he does. So what is it about these Japanese cartoons that are so good, and which one is the best? Now, it's hard to say which one's the actual best because everyone has their own opinions on their different shows that they like, and it really depends on the person. Like some people will write a 2,346 word essay on why K-On! Was a revolutionary show, and then I will just inform them that Camp Rock was a little bit better. Eventually, over time, if you watch enough anime, you develop something called taste. And then once you develop this taste, you look at your old anime and realize that maybe they weren't the greatest shows you thought they were. So I'm here to guide you on your anime journey today and help you find the best anime that brings out the best in you. And if you have seen anime before, I'm sure you would tell me how bad these suggestions are in the comments below. Thank you. So, how qualified am I, you may ask? I do have 61 days of watch time on my anime list. Not something I'm necessarily proud of, but it is a decent amount of girth. And seasoned anime elitists may scoff at the fact that I only have 61 days of watch time where they hold their wine glass in one hand and their body pillow in another, but then they would tell you that Avatar The Last Airbender was not a real anime. Which I would say to that, you know what isn't real? Your girlfriend. We all know she doesn't actually go to a different school. So I think if you're gonna start an anime, you want something relatively short. The quick bing bang boom in your face, I would say the Mount Rushmore is Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, Hunter x Hunter, One Punch Man are all really good. And if you want to spend the rest of your life watching anime, you can always pick up One Piece. So I'd say these shows are good for a couple reasons. One being they get your interest right away in the show. They also hold your interest in the show, and they're relatively short. So when you finish them and you're now wondering what to do with life, you can just watch more anime. So I truly like to believe in my heart that if you watch any of the mainstream anime, you'll probably enjoy a show, and if you don't, it could be a genre thing, or you may just not enjoy anime, which can't be true. I mean, there's an anime out there for everyone, let's be honest. So far, the shows I've mentioned are known as shonens, and they're generally known for their action type shows. But maybe you're not into that too much and you want to watch something else, so there's a couple other genres you may be interested in. I think for the most part, a lot of shows dip their hands into a bunch of different genres. So, for an example, like one of the shows I mentioned previously, One Punch Man, it's normally, I think it would be known more for its action, but it's also a very good comedy. So, honestly, I'd say it's a pretty good comedy show. Another good show that I recommend as well for its comedy is Assassination Classroom. Also, if you would like to sauce up your life a little bit, I recommend High School DxD and Food Wars. But if you're under the age of 18, probably shouldn't watch it. But instead of laughing, you want to cry a little bit, you can go for a bit of drama show, such as You Lie in April is pretty good, and Plastic Memories. But I would say get your tissue box ready, because you're going to need it. Now, if you want to slow things down a little bit, you could watch A Slice of Life, which is basically just high school kids doing high school things. So, if you want to relive your past, you can also do that. Now, Slice of Life's aren't really my speed, and they're not all about high school. So, you could watch more of something like Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, which is pretty good, or Love is Hard for an Otaku is also pretty good. So I think a lot of anime shows are known for their fantasy, but one in particular I could pick out is Made in Abyss, a beautiful show and mysterious at the same time. I can highly recommend it. That one's pretty good. But if you want to scare yourself and watch like a horror show, I can't really recommend anything. I mean, I'm not big into scaring myself. I don't plan on scaring myself anytime soon. I can't sleep at night most of the time when I watch a scary movie. So I don't really have any scary recommendations, but I'm sure you can find some out there. But some shows I can recommend for the psychological category could be either Code Geass or Death Note. Both of those, you'll probably end up pacing around your room for 5 minutes processing what just happened, so those are really good. But maybe you're looking more for a romance type show, and then I could either recommend Love is War, which is also a really good comedy, or Your Name, which I just think is one of the greatest movies of all time. So maybe you're trying to have a Netflix and chill with your girlfriend and want to watch some anime. Those are some good ones. So those were just some of the genres and some of the anime. For the most part, you could just recommend anime until you turn blue in the face. But to avoid this, I just gave people a general idea in order to think of what type of anime they may like. And the reality is, you kind of just watch shows and you feel it out. And when you're in your infancy of watching shows, you'll probably end up thinking all of them are pretty good. So good luck out there. And hopefully, this was somewhat helpful. It can be kind of stressful when you're first starting anything and not knowing really which one to pick. But honestly, you can really pick anyone that most people recommend and you'll probably enjoy it. So if you have any anime recommendations, you can also leave in the comment section down below and I'll be like, oh, I forgot that one. And then I'm sure it's another great show.